It's Patch and Lukens and Oso, 700 ESPN, 1080 ESPN. Rick Lukens, Keith Oso, Vince Grippi today. Dennis Patchen should be back, I believe, tomorrow. Is that right, Vince?
Yes, he is.
Vince is the one that knows. He's the schedule maker.
I'm the relief pitcher.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to hear Dennis's stories about the bed and breakfast.
It should be entertaining. Speaking of entertaining, a guy that's been on this program for, the last 5-6 years. Former player, assistant coach, head coach of the Spokane Shock, now with the Utah Blaze. Rob Keefe joining us. Coach, how you been?
Guys, can you hear me? How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's been a while, sir.
It's been a while, man. Good to hear your voice again, guys. Good to hear you.
Nothing interesting coming up for you, is there?
No, just hanging out, man. I don't know why we'd be talking on the phone right now.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to coming back?
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm excited to. First off, Spokane it's such an awesome community. And when you say, I'm only 31 years old, so 6 years of my life. I mean, that's a fifth of my life was spent in Spokane. So I'm excited just to say hi to a lot of people, and hopefully, there's a lot of hugs that are going around, and we get in really early on Friday. So it's going to be great to see as many people as I can for a 3-day stretch there.
Any part of you nervous about coming back in front of this crowd?
No, because, at the end of the day, if anything, this whole experience has taught me, it's, it really is a business, and it's a job, and, what my job is to do is to not be nervous. My job is to be as calm and collective as possible, to be there for my guys. I mean, if as a coach I'm nervous and I'm too emotional and I'm worried about the stuff that I just can't control, they can read that. And at the end of the day, I'm here to do a job and to do the job to the best of my ability. So you got to take nerves out of it, and you got to think with your head. You definitely can't go with your heart on this one, and do the best you can for the players that are playing for you.
But you're not saying that if you come away with a win from this trip, that there's not going to be a little extra satisfaction than if you had won in Cleveland or Orlando.
Man, I love it. I love where you guys are going with this, man. I love it.
But be honest with us, Rob. Come on.
No, let's put it this way. It was, I was really upset and hurt by the way, it was left. It really was. I mean, there was a lot of things that were said that I really felt were unfair about me. But at the same time, this overall support. I mean, this week alone, I mean, the amount of owners and coaches that have been texting me and Facebooking me all around the league. I mean, everybody knows what's at stake. At the end of the day, it really is, for a playoff push. But yeah, I mean, it's going to feel great to get a win, but it really is. I think it's going to be great because overall, I'm excited about what I do. I really love coaching, and it's just going to be good to do it in front of people that, care about me and that I care about as well. So I think it's going to be a great experience overall.
We know the end isn't the way that you wanted it, but you did win 3 titles here. You did play here for 2 years. Are you now in a position where when you think about Spokane and Spokane Shock, it's a good feeling for you?
Yeah, let's for the community. I think.
Sure.
I was talking to what was great about being here in Utah. I just talked recently with Frank Layden, who was a longtime Utah Jazz coach and team president. Son was the general manager for the New York Knicks for some time, and 80-year-old man just really giving me a lot of good advice. And I got to talk to. I think the last time I talked to Dennis, I was hanging out with Al Golden in the University of Miami. Got to talk to a lot of good, professional, sports icons. And at the end of the day, if you coach for a very long time, I mean, I'm very new to this at 31 years old, you're probably not going to retire or have your jersey, hung up in every rafter in every arena that you coach in. And I think Stan Van Gundy said it the best. He said when he got hired for the Orlando Magic, he said, I'm very aware that while I'm grateful for this opportunity, I'm very aware that, this is the first day of my job here until I get released. And unless you retire and you're there for 50 years, it's going to happen often. Now, you don't like it to happen the way it did in Spokane, but at the same time, I don't have any regrets. I really don't. I mean, I coach very hard. Sometimes, I don't play good soldier to ideologies I don't believe in, but that's part of growing up, and that's part of learning. And if anything, this whole year has really taught me to, be very humble and to respect, the process. And you have to know as a coach, you don't sign the checks. So at the end of the day, you're always going to lose to begin with. So as long as you just have a very good understanding about what you want to accomplish with your players, and you're teaching these guys, good, hard, life skills, and you're winning at the same time, you can't go wrong.
It's been an interesting trip for you this year, starting off in Orlando as an offensive coordinator. The talent level there on offense wasn't what it probably was that you probably thought. You get let go there, and now you're a defensive coordinator in Utah. Can you just talk about this year and what you've learned in the last few months?
Yeah, it was really great. I mean, to be honest, I'd do it again in Orlando or anywhere else as an offensive coordinator if I could. And the reason why I say that is, I was talking to the Spokesman Review earlier this week, and a lot of coaching is, you don't want to pigeonhole yourself. You want to, for me personally, my father, being involved as a high-ranking official in the Secret Service, and my mother, professor right now at George Washington University. I mean, it was like the way that they came up and the way that they just really worked for everything. It's don't be afraid to fail. You can't. Anybody of success has to take the last shot eventually, and you might miss, you might not, you might make it, you might be the hero. So for me, I wanted to see what I had offensively. I mean, I learned from some great ones, and Adam Shackelford and and Matt Salk and Connell Maynard, who right now is was one win away from a Division II national championship and for the NCAA football program that he's running right now. But he was my offensive coordinator in Philadelphia, and I learned so much from these guys. And I felt like we did have a good run in Orlando as camp was getting there. We were getting really good, and the guys were really buying into my system. I really felt like the strike situation really kind of messed us up.
Sure.
And it got to a point, I don't think it's any coincidence that, unfortunately, Orlando, good organization. Pittsburgh, good organization. I mean, they're 1-11 and 3-9 right now, and that's tough. And it was a tough situation all around. And after 4 games and not winning, I think it was time to part ways. And I don't regret it one bit. I'm not afraid to fail. After that, 2 or 3 teams called about being a defensive coordinator before Utah, and I turned them down because I wanted to be sure. And a lot of the advice that I got from I talked to Jimbo Fisher, head coach of Florida State. And he was telling me that sometimes it's best to not take a job. Sometimes it's best to just sit back and I think my youth kind of, when something's presented in front of me, I jump all over it. But it's good to kind of just look at everything in all angles. And when Utah called, I just knew it was going to be a great situation. I knew the talent level that was there. The owners have always greeted me with just hugs, and they've always been so welcoming to me, and I've never forgot that. And Coach Ron James has known me since college. His first coaching opportunity was given to him by my head coach at college and Mercyhurst College back in Pennsylvania. So the connections with Matt Salk and all the players that are from the Shock, it was just a perfect situation. And I'm just very honored and humbled to be in the situation I am in now. And, I've taken a couple phone calls for next year. Hopefully everything goes well, this year with expansion and a lot of teams, unfortunately for me to become a head coach again, somebody has to lose their job, and I know that's a tough situation. But as of right now, I'm focused on leading the defense for the Utah Blaze, and I'm really pumped up about it.
You seem to be doing a good job of that. They seem to be playing pretty well right now.
Yeah, we are. I think, with Tommy Grady, it's a quarterback-driven league, and you have to have a good quarterback. And at 6'7", with the arm strength that he has and the knowledge that he has now given to him through Matt Salk, who is just – he's one of the best coaches in this game. I think he's one step away from being a head coach himself. I just really believe in what he does. It's my job to manage the game on defense, and we have a very, very talented squad. The guys really bought into the system very well. I came here when they were 6-4, so it wasn't a losing team. It was just, we knew we were in a tough division, how we were going to take that next step, and the fact that I was available, they jumped on it, and I was more than happy to be here. And it was because of that roster. I went over the roster. I follow everybody. Even when you're not a coach, you stay, or not coaching, you stay on top of everything in your particular sport. And knowing how close they were to that next level, I had to jump on it. So I was really pumped to have the opportunity.
You got to Utah, looked around practice, and thought you took the wrong plane and ended up in Spokane. Half the team was your team here. That's got to make it nice when you step into a new team and half the guys.
Well, it does, and I think, for me personally, the kind of defense I run, it's very sophisticated, considering what you can do in arena football. Now, I've been listening to your show all day. There is a version of Cover 2, guys, just so you know. I'll teach you a few things about that. But no, right now we have 32 defensive play calls, and to have that thrown in, I don't think I could have done that on some of the other teams that were calling me, and I think it would have been an uphill battle. Not saying I wasn't ready for that challenge, but it made me feel good that there was guys that have played in my system that they know what I expect from them, which in turn I think sparked the team. All the guys have come up to me and shook my hand and given me hugs and said they're very happy that I'm here, and they see the difference. They see the difference in energy level on the defensive side of the ball. At the same time, for us, I mean, it's 1 week at a time, but we're coming off a week where we, took care of Chicago pretty handily. And granted, they didn't have the best game, and we know that Spokane's going to be a different animal. But we're very excited at the building process that we're going through right now. And, I'm happy that I have the talent and the guys I feel comfortable with around me to help us do that.
Rob, you've always enjoyed going into hostile environments as a player and a coach with the Shock, and this is certainly one of the best in the league. It's going to be a little different dynamic because a lot of people are going to be there to show you, support, comfort, whatever it may be. But once that ball's kicked off, I'm sure your buddies over there in the corner, the goal line bandits, who I'm sure you still are friends with, it's probably going to be a lot of fun. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I am. I think, it's all within reason. I mean, you
Sure.
go to some places and, I think there's always a fine line. I think arena football is very, I don't know, specific. I don't know the word I'm looking for quite. But, when you're in the NFL or NBA, you're in a house on a hill, and nobody really knows you. And when you come to the game, when they're getting on you and they're heckling on you, hey, they make millions of dollars, so we can come to do that. I think sometimes in arena football, it does get to players when you live in those communities and you live pretty much right next to the fans that are communicating with you. So there are things that are found out that are more personable to others. And so what I'm getting at is I think they do a great job. I think it's to a point where they do the research and they get under your skin. I'd like to think that because of what I've done here, that it's all going to be in good fun. I really
Sure.
do. I think it's I want them to support their team. I wouldn't have it any other way because at the same time, them supporting their team helps the Arena Football League out. I mean, everybody is in this together. You want the most passionate fans you could possibly be. But some people were asking me that the other day. Do you think they're going to get on you, hard? If they do, they do. I mean, I still got to coach my game. And for me, of all people, I'm pretty stone-faced as they come when it comes to fans because I'm just so focused. But at the same time, I think there is a mutual level of respect. I'm going to respect the fans because they love their team, and I in turn to think they would respect me because, hey, I gave them my all for the time being that I was here. So I think it's going to be good on both sides.
Have you talked to any of your guys who maybe haven't played in the Spokane arena about what the goal line bandits are going to bring?
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you what, they got to experience it a little bit, too, because Arizona's pretty bad, too. I mean, Arizona, those guys will get on you. I mean, they'll take it to the whole nother level. I mean, they'll talk about your mom and your baby and all kind of stuff. I mean, take it to an extreme. But, yeah, we're very aware of it. I mean, we know that it's going to be a loud, ruckus environment. We know they have a good team. We know that, I mean, there's a reason why in sports teams have trouble on the road. I mean, it just is. I mean, in every sport you could possibly think of. I mean, travel is tough, and time zone change and all this stuff, and climate. I'm sure is it over 30 degrees there in Spokane? That's what I really want to know. I mean, I'm coming into a
Today,
is it okay?
Today it is.
All right, are we in summertime here when we come up there?
Not really.
Good thing we play indoors, I guess. But no, they're aware of it. I mean, we show film and we're pumped up, and at the same time, I think it's a testament to how well this league can do if given passionate fans. So we hope it's going to be a good one, both sides of the ball, and we're excited for actually some fan noise. I think guys like to play in that environment. You want to play in the big arenas, and you want to play in front of a big crowd.
Rob, you've always been a friend of the program. You've always come on good times or bad. That's what we like about you. We appreciate you coming on this week. I know you guys have a lot on your plate, a playoff implication football game with the Spokane Shock. We look forward to seeing you in the arena, and thanks for coming on, sir.
Yeah, guys, I can't wait. And, to all the Spokane fans out there that are there to come to the game, I hope I get to see and shake some hands. And there's a lot of people that I miss and love, and I appreciate you having me on so I can say hi to them, and hopefully I get to see them.
All right, Rob, thanks a lot. We'll see you on Saturday.
Okay, guys, see you then.